Announcements are listed within the bulletin, but before I get into what's listed here, I first want to say welcome to Miss Elizabeth. She's sitting back there next to Chris. She's going like this. I'll put her on the spot. Over there, raise your hand and let everybody see. Let's welcome Miss Elizabeth to church with us today. She is the mother of the wonderful Amanda. So thank you so much for being here with us today. And thank you all for being in the house of God with us this morning. Within your bulletin, there are several things of great importance. The first is there is a meet and greet with our new district superintendent, Jeff Lambert, and his wife, Tammy, today at 3 p.m. at the Jonesville First United Methodist Church. If you would want to meet them, that would be a good time to do so. Also, thank you all for participating in the Little VBS. Everyone did a wonderful job, and the students had a great time learning about the love of God. The creativity and talent that I saw from our volunteers was amazing. And during our 3-day school, we had 9 to 13 kids each day. And also, we had 25 volunteers, which made that event possible, amen, and special. So please help me thank all who participated, all who prayed, and all who had gave in their monetary gifts to support our church so that this event could be a success. So I want to ask all the volunteers just to stand right now so we can get a good look at you. And as they stand, let's give them a round of applause. We have an evening of spiritual refreshing and communion and healing scheduled for Tuesday, July 26th at 6 p.m. And during this service, we're going to have communion, as I already mentioned. We're going to have praise and worship, and we're going to have healing, a prayer for healing. And John Powers, a very devoted man of God, will be leading us in worship and in song. So mark your calendars. If you can come, you will not want to miss this. You will be blessed. And also invite your friends and family members to come to this service. Also within the bulletin, you will find a bio on John Powers and all of his accomplishments. And I tell you, you will find out that John Powers does not play around. Amen. He is serious about worshiping God, and he's serious about displaying his gifts and talents for the glory of God. In the back of your bulletin, you will find within the highlights of our last administrative board meeting that due to the rise of interruptions during church services and activities everywhere, it's time for us to gather together and form a security team. So if you're interested in being a part of the Trinity United Methodist security team, please let me know. Also, I have 2 mailing addresses for our friends who are living abroad or living away from Big Stone Gap. And I'm sure they would love to hear from you. And I have Bill Cole's address and Sandra Marshall's address. Lastly, before I allow Phil to share an announcement with you, within your bulletin you will notice a letter from the committee, Memorial Committee. And we have decided to do something special during our homecoming service, which is Sunday, August 21st. And that is if you would like your a loved one's name who have passed away to be listed within the bulletin and or possibly mentioned during the service, please submit that name to the church office. And if you want to add a picture to that name, you can do so as well. Just submit a picture with the name to the church office, or you can simply email it to us. And the Memorial Committee wants to put something very nice, insert a very nice memorial and remembrance for all of your loved ones. And also the Memorial Committee is saying we are open to receive offerings and gifts because we want to also take that time to build that account up and so that we can use the money to be a blessing to the church. Donna Mayhem, do you need to add anything to that? Can we get a mic to you first? I know Callie's not here. Okay, Roy's coming here with that.
Our memorial committee is tiny, but we're mighty, and we appreciate any donations. When I took this job over, they told me that all the monies need to do something with the entire church so that it would everybody would enjoy things. So when Phil asked about the bells, there was just no way that our memorial committee was going to say anything but yes. And I love those bells. I can hear them from my front porch. And also the candles. So we wanted to do something special to, as our homecoming, to have everybody there feeling homecoming, even the ones who have gone on. And so we thought about reading all their names, and it just depends on how many we get. But if we don't read the names, we are going to have a moment for them because they're no longer with us. But they're still with us in our hearts for our homecoming. So if you will write them down, I can even put them in the offering plate, or give them to me, or anybody on the memorial committee, which would be Cindy or Kim and Paula. We'd be glad to take them and see that it gets done. But it will be a nice special thing to remember all those, and we appreciate it.
Amen. And get that information to us as soon as possible. The sooner the better. That way it'll give us plenty of time to make everything nice and neat for everybody. Brother Phil, will you share at this time for us?
I get caught in situations sometimes that I don't know how to get out of. And this is borderline there, but you never realize how old you are. But this past week with Bible school going on and Patty working in it, I kindly realized how old Patty and I were getting. She was on the phone with Amy Garcia prior to Bible school one morning, and I heard she had her phone on speakerphone because she was flitting around doing something. And I heard her say, "I can't get there right now. I've lost something. I've got to find it." And I'm thinking, what? What'd she lose? And finally, Amy kept prodding her, and "What'd you lose?" "Well, I've lost my phone. I got to find my phone." I got to find my phone before I come to Bible school. And I kind of had one of those senior moments myself, and I said, "I feel sorry for Patty." Till Amy replied back, "Maybe if I call it for you, you'll be able to find it." This personal information book comes from the Holston Foundation. Paul Bowman will be here in 2 weeks for what's called Stewardship Sunday and personal financial planning. Regardless if you're not interested in anything he does, this book is page after page of information that somebody close to you and your family is going to need someday. And it's not going to be filled out in 5 minutes. It's probably going to take you 2 or 3 hours over a period of time to fill this out in terms of information that's needed when we pass along. But he will be here. He's going to preach, and then after the service, he's going to be involved in a short conference, I suppose you would say, for anybody that would be interested in sitting down and listening to him. It could be as simple as assigning the church as a beneficiary to a small insurance policy you have. It could be as simple as gifting property to the church. Things of those natures that you might be interested in if you don't have anybody that you're thinking about and you don't want the government to take it over. So coming and just getting this book, or getting a book and not staying, will be worth your time. I appreciate the foundation. We're going to get a check on a big piece of paper, I guess, presented that day for the work that Christy Smith did and Tim did for the backpack program and for the cameras and all that we're using today. That check's $5,500. And so you wonder sometimes where your money goes that we pay to the conference and we pay to the district. And this is a way that they give back to each individual church. But this is something that's directly related to you as a person, as a member of this church, and something that I think would be very beneficial in your life. And hopefully you don't lose your phone. Thank you.
Amen.